Hey everyone, and welcome to the NOSR Webs podcast. Don't forget to visit the links in the description below for amazing offers. Today we're diving headfirst into a pool of drama, and trust me, this water's boiling. Get ready to explore the world of WordPress, open source software, and a concept that's causing quite a stir: forking.
Now, before you envision a culinary catastrophe, let's clarify that forking in software is far from using the wrong utensil at a fancy dinner party.
Definitely not about salad forks here. Picture a tree branching out, creating independent paths.
That's essentially what forking is in the software world. Someone takes the existing code, creates a copy, and starts developing it independently. Sometimes it's a friendly split, leading to diverse flavors of software, like we see with Linux.
Yeah, Linux.
Other times, well, let's just say things get a bit messy.
And messy might be an understatement when we're talking about WordPress, the platform powering a huge chunk of the internet, something like 43%. And a wildly popular plugin known as Advanced Custom Fields, or ACF for short. This plugin was a heavyweight champion in the WordPress world, boasting over 2 million active installations and a user satisfaction rate of 89%. People loved it.
They did.
So imagine this. You have ACF, this beloved plugin that was essentially a gold mine, estimated to be worth over $30 million. Enter WP Engine, a major player in the WordPress hosting scene who acquired ACF back in 2022 as part of a company called Delicious Brains. Seems like a pretty straightforward business deal, right?
Well, hold on tight, because in 2024, things took a sharp turn. Matt Mullenweg, the co-founder of WordPress and the head honcho at Automatic, decided to fork ACF, creating a new plugin called Secure Custom Fields, or SCF.
Wait, so WordPress just swooped in and took over someone else's plugin? What was the reasoning behind that?
That's where the plot thickens. Mullenweg cited security concerns with ACF, claiming that WP Engine wasn't doing enough to address them. He also took issue with what he called commercial upsells within the plugin, essentially arguing against profiting off something that was part of the open source WordPress ecosystem.
So he decided to take matters into his own hands and forked it. Bold move.
Indeed, a bold move. And to add fuel to the fire, WP Engine was then blocked from accessing WordPress.org's update servers. Imagine using ACF, everything's humming along smoothly, and suddenly you're forced to switch to this new SCF plugin without a clue as to why.
I can't imagine that went over well with the users.
Let's just say the community reaction was less than enthusiastic. We're talking about a whopping 92% negative sentiment. People felt like the rug had been pulled out from under them.
And what about the folks at WP Engine and the original ACF team? They must have been more than a little upset about this turn of events.
Upset might be putting it mildly. They accused Mullenweg of a forced takeover, arguing that it completely violated the fundamental principles of open source.
Oh, wow.
They saw it as a dangerous precedent. If WordPress could simply grab any successful plugin, what's to stop them from doing it again and again?
Okay, let's break this down.
Yeah.
We've got security concerns on one side and potential strong-arm tactics on the other. But this isn't just a localized squabble over one plugin, is it? The situation raises some significant questions about the future of WordPress and open source software as a whole.
Absolutely. This is about more than just ACF. It touches upon the very essence of open source. Imagine, if you're a developer who pours your heart and soul into building a plugin, wouldn't the possibility of having it snatched away if it becomes too popular send chills down your spine?
For sure.
Yeah.
And from a user's perspective, think about the confusion. Which version of the plugin should you use? Are users even aware of this forced switcheroo? It's a recipe for frustration and uncertainty.
This situation brings up a crucial question. Has this incident corroded the trust that is absolutely vital in the open source world? Will developers hesitate to contribute? Will users start looking for alternatives to WordPress, fearing further turmoil down the road? These are the concerns that are rippling through the community right now.
Now, it's important to acknowledge that forking itself isn't inherently a negative thing. We've seen successful examples in the past, like with Linux distributions. Ubuntu, Fedora, they all branched out from the original Linux kernel and have thrived in their own unique ways.
Precisely. Forking can be a powerful tool for innovation and diversification. It allows different groups to take a project in new directions, catering to specific needs or addressing concerns that the original developers might not prioritize. A great example is MariaDB, which was forked from MySQL after Oracle acquired it. Many saw this as a way to protect the project's open source spirit and ensure its continued development independent of corporate influence.
So forking can be a catalyst for positive change, helping projects evolve and adapt. But it's not a guaranteed success story either, right?
Right. Remember Classic Press?
Vaguely.
It was a fork of WordPress, but it hasn't exactly taken the world by storm. It's been struggling to gain traction, which highlights that forking can be a gamble, with both potential benefits and risks.
So it seems forking is more like a powerful tool than a magic wand. It takes a strong community, clear goals, and effective execution to make it work.
Exactly. And even when executed properly, forking can lead to fragmentation. Think about it. We now have two versions of ACF, the original from WP Engine and the forked SCF from WordPress.org. This can create a confusing landscape for users and make it more challenging for developers to maintain compatibility.
Talk about a developer's headache. It's like trying to follow two sets of instructions to build the same IKEA bookshelf, guaranteed frustration. So what does this all mean for the future of WordPress?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? This entire situation has shaken the community's trust and raised concerns about potential power grabs by larger entities. Will developers abandon the platform, fearing that their hard work could be snatched away? Could this be the beginning of the end for WordPress?
Ooh, those are some weighty questions. I guess we'll have to dive deeper into those in the next part. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to the NOSR Webs podcast, where we're dissecting the drama surrounding WordPress and the ACF plugin saga. Don't forget to visit the links in the description below for amazing offers.
If you're just joining us, we're knee-deep in the world of forking, where software projects can split off in different directions, sometimes with unpredictable results. It's like choosing your own adventure in the software world, but the ending isn't always a happy one.
Indeed. Last time, we set the stage. WordPress, under the leadership of Matt Mullenweg, essentially forked the wildly popular Advanced Custom Fields, ACF, plugin, transforming it into Secure Custom Fields, SCF. This move ignited a firestorm of controversy within the WordPress community and beyond.
Yeah, firestorm might be an understatement. People were not thrilled about being forced to switch plugins. But before we jump back into the WordPress drama, let's take a step back and look at some historical examples of forking. It's important to remember that forking isn't always a villain in the software world.
That's right. In fact, forking has been a driving force behind some of the most successful software projects we use today. Take the vast and diverse world of Linux, for instance. It's a veritable forking fiesta over there.
So many flavors of Linux. It's like walking into an ice cream shop with endless possibilities.
Precisely. Ubuntu, Fedora, Debian, they're all different flavors of Linux, each forked from the original kernel. They've evolved in their own ways, catering to different user needs and preferences, and demonstrating that forking can lead to innovation and a richer software ecosystem.
So forking can be a catalyst for positive change. Kind of like how different pizza toppings cater to different tastes. You've got your classic pepperoni, your adventurous pineapple, and your, well, let's just say some toppings are best left undiscussed.
A colorful analogy. And the beauty of open source software is that it allows for this kind of diversification. If you're not happy with the direction a project is heading, you can fork it and create something that better aligns with your vision. It's all about choice and the power of community-driven development.
So forking can empower developers and users alike. Are there other examples where forking has led to positive outcomes?
Absolutely. MariaDB is a fantastic example. It was forked from MySQL after Oracle acquired it. Many saw this as a way to safeguard its open source spirit and ensure its continued development independent of corporate influence. It's now a widely used database system in its own right, proving that forking can be a powerful tool for protecting a project's core values and keeping it thriving.
It's like taking a stand and saying, we believe in this project and we're going to ensure its future. That's inspiring. But as we mentioned earlier, not all forks are created equal. Some struggle to gain traction or simply fade into obscurity. Remember Classic Press, the WordPress fork we mentioned before? It serves as a cautionary tale, highlighting that forking can be a gamble with both potential benefits and risks.
Precisely. Forking is not a guaranteed recipe for success. It takes a strong community, clear goals, and effective execution to make it work. And even when done right, forking can lead to fragmentation, which can create confusion and challenges for both developers and users.
Right. Now we have two versions of ACF out there, the original from WP Engine and the forked SCF from WordPress.org. For users, it's like suddenly having two remote controls for your TV. Which one do you use? And for developers, maintaining compatibility becomes a whole lot trickier.
Exactly. It adds complexity and can hinder seamless integration. So the question remains, what does this all mean for the future of WordPress? This situation has undoubtedly shaken the community's trust and raised concerns about potential power grabs by larger entities. Will this lead to an exodus of developers from the platform? Will users start seeking alternative content management systems, CMS, fearing more upheaval down the line?
hold on a second. You just used the term CMS. For those who might not be familiar with the lingo, can you break down what a CMS is and why it's relevant to this whole WordPress saga?
Of course. CMS stands for Content Management System. In simple terms, it's a software application that makes it easy for people to create, manage, and modify digital content, like websites, without needing to know complex coding languages. WordPress is a prime example of a CMS. It's user-friendly, highly customizable, and powers a vast number of websites worldwide.
So this whole forking drama isn't just about plugins. It's about the very foundation upon which millions of websites are built. That's a pretty big deal. If developers and users lose faith in WordPress, it could have a ripple effect across the entire internet landscape.
You hit the nail on the head. This incident has far-reaching implications. It's raising questions about the delicate balance between commercial interests and the open source ethos. It's prompting discussions about the future of open source itself. What role should forking play in its evolution? Is it a necessary evil, a catalyst for innovation, or something else entirely?
Wow, those are some thought-provoking questions. And on that cliffhanger, we'll have to pause for now. But don't worry, we'll be back with part 3 to delve deeper into these issues and explore what it all means for you, dear listener. Whether you're a seasoned WordPress developer or someone who just uses it to share your cat memes with the world. Welcome back to the NOSR Webs podcast for the thrilling conclusion of our deep dive into the WordPress forking frenzy. We've journeyed through the dramatic tale of WordPress's takeover of the Advanced Custom Fields plugin, explored the historical ups and downs of forking, and pondered the potential ripple effects across the entire open source world.
Don't forget to visit the links in the description below for amazing offers. And now we arrive at the crux of the matter. Where do we go from here? What does this all mean for you, dear listener, whether you're a seasoned WordPress developer or someone who simply uses it to build a website for your adorable cat memes?
Let's start by addressing the developers out there. This whole ACF situation has undoubtedly sent a shiver down many spines.
Definitely.
The fear is palpable. If a plugin becomes too successful, could it be snatched away like a delicious cookie from a hungry toddler?
The key takeaway here is vigilance. Developers need to be more aware of the licensing terms they're using, the potential vulnerabilities in their code, and the implications of partnering with companies that might have conflicting interests. It's about protecting your creations and ensuring they align with your vision for the future.
It's like playing chess, right? You have to anticipate potential threats and strategize accordingly. But this isn't just about protecting individual developers, it's about safeguarding the open source spirit itself. That collaborative, community-driven ethos is what makes open source so powerful.
Precisely. Open source thrives on trust and collaboration. Let me explain why that is so crucial. When developers share their code freely and work together to improve it, everyone benefits. Innovation flourishes, and we create a more accessible and interconnected digital world. But if developers lose faith in this system, the entire ecosystem could suffer. Imagine a garden where no one wants to share their seeds or help each other grow. It would wither and stagnate.
So what can we do to prevent this metaphorical garden from withering? Should we start building underground bunkers stocked with ramen noodles and energy drinks?
While a well-stocked bunker might sound appealing, I believe there are more proactive solutions. This incident, as tumultuous as it's been, could actually be a catalyst for positive change. It's forcing us to have essential, albeit difficult, conversations about governance, transparency, and the delicate balance between commercial interests and open source ideals.
Perhaps we need clearer rules of engagement, sort of fork etiquette guide, so everyone understands what's considered fair play. It's like establishing ground rules for a friendly game of basketball. Everyone knows what's allowed and what crosses the line.
That's an excellent point. Clear guidelines and a shared understanding of ethical forking practices would certainly benefit the community. We also need to empower the community itself. Giving developers more say in how platforms like WordPress are run, creating mechanisms for resolving disputes fairly, and fostering a culture of collaboration and mutual respect are crucial steps.
And what about the users? The folks who rely on WordPress to power their blogs, businesses, and everything in between. They might be feeling a bit lost in the midst of all this technical jargon and drama.
For users, the key is awareness. Do your research, understand the plugins you're using, and stay informed about any changes or controversies that might arise. Don't be afraid to ask questions and voice your concerns. Your voice matters. It's like being a savvy consumer. You wouldn't buy a car without checking its safety rating, right? The same principle applies to the software you rely on. Be informed, be proactive.
It's all about taking ownership of your digital experience. And if you're feeling adventurous, why not explore alternative platforms? There are plenty of other excellent content management systems, CMS, out there, each with its own strengths and weaknesses. Remember, variety is the spice of life.
Absolutely. Exploring different options can broaden your horizons and help you find the perfect platform for your needs. Who knows? Maybe this whole WordPress situation will inspire the creation of something even more innovative and user-friendly.
That's the beauty of the tech world. It's constantly evolving. So, to wrap things up, is this the beginning of the end for WordPress?
I wouldn't be so quick to pronounce its demise. WordPress is a resilient platform with a massive and passionate community. But this incident has exposed some vulnerabilities, some cracks in the foundation. It's up to the community developers, users, and everyone in between to decide how to move forward. Do we patch up those cracks and build something even stronger, or do we allow them to widen, risking the stability of the entire structure?
That's a powerful analogy. It reminds us that we all have a role to play in shaping the future of the digital landscape. And that, dear listener, is the most important takeaway from this deep dive. The future of WordPress, and indeed the future of open source software, is in our collective hands. What will you do? Will you become more involved in the community? Explore alternative platforms. Demand greater transparency from the powers that be. Whatever path you choose, remember that your actions, no matter how small they may seem, can contribute to a more vibrant, ethical, and collaborative open source world.
And on that note, we'd like to remind you to visit the links in the description below for amazing offers. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and keep on building.